1990s. Most people would say this time would be the best time to be a child. Hanging out with the kids in your neighborhood, the scraped knees, Blockbuster Video, your parents telling you to be home when the street lights turn on, Yahoo Messenger. Anyone who says the 90s were terrible is entitled to their wrong opinion, and that's okay. I was introduced into gaming in the 90s with the Sega Genesis, and I haven't stopped since then. If you watched many of the videos, you would know that the Genesis was the very first system that I owned. The very first game that I owned was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I figured I should make my first review video over Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'm the 90s Mental Gamer, and welcome to the 90s Mental Gamer channel. Over my many years of gaming, I have played many Sonic games. Some really good, and others, well, not so good. More specifically, Sonic 06. This game was meant to be revolutionary to the Sonic series. It was supposed to celebrate 15 years of Sonic, but instead, it was trash, being nothing more than a tech demo and completely unplayable. Okay. Sonic 2 is very special to me. Not only because it was the first game that I ever played, but it was the catalyst that led me to creating this channel. Granted, I was only a child at the time, but ultimately, it was the game that ignited my passion for gaming. I remember coming home from school and begging my mom to let me play my games. And she would always tell me, do your homework, and then your chores, and then you can play your video games. So like any good noodle would do,
I'm a good noodle! I'm a good noodle!
I did them. But I half-assed it. I rushed through my homework so fast that it eventually led to my grades dropping in school. My mom never checked my work, and that led to some serious ass beatings come time for report card seasons. As for the chores, I really couldn't half-ass those because my mom was right next to me while I was doing those chores. After my homework and chores were done, I go rushing to my room to play Sonic 2 until it was time for bed. It was easy being a kid in the 90s. So before I start to ramble on any further, join me while I review Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Genesis. I should probably add that I used cheat codes while playing this game.
I want to see your tiny head.
Sonic 2 was released in 1992, so I had to have been at least 5 years old when I got this game, although I really don't remember when I actually got it. At the time, gaming was extremely limited in processing power, but that didn't stop Sega from pushing the envelope and claiming they're better than Nintendo with their Genesis does what Nintendo don't campaign, thus sparking the console wars. The 90s was all about Sonic vs. Mario and Sega vs. Nintendo. Fast forward to 1999 when Sega released their last console, the Sega Dreamcast, ultimately making Nintendo the winner. Sega will always be superior in my eyes though. Love you, Zelda. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a side-scrolling platformer game based on speed. The story is about a mad scientist named Dr. Robotnik who seeks the Chaos Emeralds to power his space station, called the Death Egg, and in doing so, he traps the animal inhabitants of West Island in an aggressive attacking robots. Enter Sonic, the little blue dude with an attitude that will do whatever it takes to stop him, including collecting the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Sonic even has a new friend to help him out in his journey. Enter Miles Prower, nicknamed Tails for obvious reasons. Okay, I will give you a hint. It's because he has 2 fucking tails. In Sonic 2, you play through 11 stages. Emerald Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Aquatic Ruin Zone, Casino Night Zone, Hilltop Zone, Mystic Cave Zone, Oil Ocean Zone, Metropolis Zone, Sky Chase Zone, Wing Fortress Zone, and finally, Death Egg Zone. There are also various special stages in which you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Once you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you have the ability to turn into Super Sonic. All you have to do is collect 50 rings, then jump. There is a catch though. Your rings decrease as each second passes, 1 ring per second. Although, I didn't have that problem thanks to cheating. Thanks RetroPie. Put on your nostalgia glasses, folks. We're taking a trip down memory lane. For a 90s game, this is absolutely beautiful. Bright, vibrant colors, contrast where it needs to be, gorgeously animated sprites, and excellent music. I will talk more about the music later. All around, this game was very well put together. In my own opinion, this game was made well ahead of its time. Imagine yourself in the 90s, you pop in Sonic 2 in your Genesis, and you hear the iconic Sega! From right there, you are hooked. The fact that you're able to hear a voice in a video game is truly something of a spectacle, especially in the 90s. I wouldn't expect anything less. Games back then were much simpler, but at the same time, they were more difficult. Just put the cartridge in and turn it on. No loading, no installation, no updates. Just raw gaming. The downside is you had no way to save your progression for most games. Just leave the system on overnight and hope your parents didn't notice. I'm gonna go ahead and do a shameless plug right here, guys. If you like what you see, go ahead and like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. It'll help me fight against YouTube's horrendous algorithm. As I mentioned before, you play as either Sonic, Tails, or both, through 11 stages, trying to collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds and stopping Dr. Robotnik's evil plan to collect the emeralds for himself, for world domination. The gameplay is quite simple. You just run, jump, and spin dash through all the levels. Collect 100 rings and you get an extra life. But there is a major catch. The further you progress in the game, the more difficult it gets. The game itself isn't actually all that difficult, but rather the platforming sections are. As you progress, the game becomes less about speed and more about performing calculated quick reaction jumps, so you don't lose rings or lose a life. For me, that seems a little counterproductive considering Sonic is all about his speed. Emerald Hill Zone, which is the very first zone, is very simple. More of a tutorial level than anything else to familiarize yourself with the controls. There are very minimal enemies to give you a handicap. By the time you reach Metropolis Zone, you'll be fighting for your life.
I'm fighting for my life!
You will also play through a series of special stages. It is in these special stages that you get the 7 Chaos Emeralds. There is a prompt that comes on screen that tells you how many rings to collect in order to advance. Sounds quite easy, right? Wrong!
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
You'll have to avoid crashing into bombs. And when you crash into bombs, you lose rings. Sounds easy to avoid the bombs, right? Wrong!
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
As you progress through the special stages, they get more difficult. Luckily, there are only 7 special stages. And lucky for me, I had cheat codes activated to help me out with this task. I have absolutely no shame in cheating because I beat this game with no cheats as a child. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how it makes you feel!
I have earned this right. I also don't care what any completion elitist says. I did, in fact, collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and I did it quite early on in the game. There were no completion bonuses other than seeing Supersonic on the ending splash screen. I thought that was pretty cool though. The music in this game is absolutely amazing. Each stage has its own unique melody and it matches perfectly with the scenery of each stage. The sound team on this game got it absolutely right. My personal favorites are from Metropolis Zone, Wing Fortress Zone, and Death Egg Zone. I could probably listen to this 16-bit soundtrack for hours at a time and not get bored of it. And if you want to listen to all the music and different sounds in the game, you can do that. There is a sound test section in the options menu that will let you play all the music and sounds whenever you please. The music definitely makes me feel some type of way. It takes me back to my childhood and when I didn't have a care in the world. Other than doing homework and chores, of course. Sonic 2 will always have a special place in my heart. It was the game that got me addicted to gaming and ultimately led me to creating this channel. Like any game, it is not perfect because it is not Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Greatest game ever, by the way. Every time I play through this game, I am reliving my childhood, which in my opinion is good for the soul. Although it did not come without any frustrations. Mostly due to the platforming and how the game put less emphasis on speed and more about performing calculated jumps and quick reactions. Yes, I cheated, and I have no shame in admitting that. Considering I'm not the gamer that I used to be, I would not have been able to complete this game without cheats. I said I'm a gamer, I did not say I was any good at it. Now that it's all said and done, I give this game a beer score of 4.5 out of 5 beers. One thing I'll never understand though is how the hell is Robotnik faster than Supersonic? That's all the time we have for today, guys. If you like what you see, go ahead and like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get updates whenever I post a new video. Put a comment. What game should I review next? Love y'all.
Yeah.